Devil's Tower, that very long plateau mountain. All right, welcome to I guess this is the third episode of Conspiracy Theory Exploration. I'm going to be the host today, Marcus Bulls. I'm also a co-host of the Monolog podcast. Please come check us out. Today, the conspiracy theory I want to talk to you guys about is ancient trees, and really more along the lines of mountains. Now, before you refute this, I'm not going to say I believe that mountains are ancient trees, but I do kind of want to touch on some of things, and I'm going to provide a little bit of, I'm not going to say it's evidence, but more, I'm going to provide some references, and that will just basically, you can feel free to interpret for yourself if you think that this is kind of a maybe true theory. So pretty much it's just a discussion. I don't believe I'm 100% right, and I'm open to difference of opinion, difference of ideas. So let's go ahead and get into this real quick. So I'm going to show you guys a series of photos that I'm going to circulate throughout the video, and I'm going to talk about each individual photo. And with that, I'm going to give you my in-depth analysis. Well, not in-depth. I'm going to give you what I think they are, whether or not it's true or not. So first, I'm going to show you a picture of the Devil's Tower, that very long plateau mountain that kind of it's very interesting looking, the one in Wyoming. And the reason why I want to start with that one, because if you look at it from afar, it kind of looks like wood. I mean, I know it's, before you jump down my throat, I said it kind of looks like wood. I didn't say it is wood. So with that in mind, there have been many different old writings from old ancient tribes saying that there were trees that used to touch the sky, and giants used to roam this land, and that they found evidence of giants. And to be honest, I'll probably show a couple of pictures of giant skeletons that they found, that maybe some people probably don't want you to think. I mean, let's think about it this way. If you have to really think about it, maybe, just maybe, there might be something to this, because they always say myths are usually based in facts, right? Because we weren't there, so we just assume, we dismiss it, and we call it fiction. But I kind of want to know, okay, so everybody says our imagination runs wild, but how do we know exactly if it's our imagination, or if it's a perceived memory, or maybe a dream? Sometimes you'll dream about shit that something that'll happen in the future, and you're oh fuck, deja vu. And I know some of you guys who are probably watching this has at least had one of those moments. I have them on a frequent occasion. And apologies, I need to wet my whistle. I'm gonna play this audio. This is a TikTok video I found.
Hi guys, I want to. Okay, I looked at.
So this is basically it. I'm gonna hold this up. Oh shit, damn. Let me see if I can turn the brightness down on that. Okay, so you guys can kind of see that. Let me turn the ring light off for a sec, just for the purposes of this video. Let me go ahead and play this.
This one up, and this one is a little trippy. Okay, so growing up, you guys probably remember hearing stories about dragons and trees that reach the heavens. What if I told you that is true, according to this conspiracy theory? Okay, so some people believe that mountains are trees. Let me show you some pictures, okay? This is a tree stump. This is a mountain. This is a tree stump. This is a mountain. And this is a tree stump. And this is a mountain. This is a mountain, tree stump. The bottom of a tree, the bottom of a mountain. Okay, I looked this one up and this one is a little trippy. Okay, so growing up, you guys probably remember hearing stories about dragons and trees that reach the heavens. What if I told you that that is true, according to this conspiracy theory? Okay, so some people believe that mountains are trees. Let me show you some pictures, okay? This is a tree stump. This is a mountain. This is a tree stump. This is a mountain. And this is a tree stump. And this is a mountain. This is a mountain, tree stump. The bottom of a tree, the bottom of a mountain. So, some people believe that the world experienced a great reset around 300 to 250 years ago. And things like giants, I don't know if these are real, but they look cool. Dragons and so much more were all exterminated. According to this conspiracy theory, there used to be a giant tree that had roots in every continent. The mountains that you see are actually fossilized trees from a far gone era. I think somehow this is tied to flat earth theory, or a lot of flat earthers believe this. I'm not a flat earther, but I fuck with this conspiracy. I think it's cool. I don't know if I believe in it, but I enjoyed the rabbit hole, so thank you for the comment. So, some people believe that the world experience.
Alright, so, now, I know you couldn't see anything, and I do apologize for, the brightness of the, oh shit, for the brightness, but, what I want, like, basically was the photos that I'm circulating, and I also got some some video to kind of show you, and we'll take a look at those. In fact, I'll go ahead and let's go ahead and roll the clips real quick. And we're back. Okay, so like you saw the videos, you saw the photos. Okay, so taking into context, if you walk up on a tree stump from a distance, you know exactly what a tree stump looks like. I don't have to explain that to you. So let's say we take a high altitude shot of like a mountain with a plateau on it, and from a distance it kind of looks like a tree stump, which is why people are saying that mountains are just ancient petrified trees. And to be honest, I can kind of see this, because if they're ancient, one, they're old as shit. They're old, very old, like hundreds of thousands, probably millions of years old, right? And in fact, I've got a video of a petrified tree that was found in Greece, and it was found at the bottom of a riverbed. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that clip. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, and then we'll continue. So let's go ahead and roll the clip. And we're back. So yeah, so if you saw it, now it wasn't like mountain size, it was a pretty large tree branch. And the reason why it's significant is because it was found intact at the bottom of a riverbed in Greece, particularly Lesbos. So that like and everyone knows Greece is like one of the big epicenters of conspiracy theories. Well, not conspiracy theories. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's an epicenter for mythology. In fact, that's where a lot, like when you think of mythology, you think of Greece or you think of Egypt, and then you kind of go off from there. So when it comes down to the whether or not if mountains are ancient trees, like honestly, since we don't know 100%, like they could have been trees. In fact, the earth could have gone through many different stages of metamorphosis. And to be honest, those big ass trees probably provided something. And if you go towards the whole right around 65 million years ago, when that asteroid collided with the earth and killed everything, like one could say that those gigantic trees were basically destroyed by this asteroid, leaving what would eventually become these gigantic ass tree stumps, which over the years, after climate changes and blizzards and rainstorms and hurricanes and wind, and just over time, like the wood would fossilize and become more rocky, because everything that comes from the earth returns to the earth, right? Even us. Like, to a certain extent, like, our genetic makeup literally can be traced back to minerals and whatnot on this planet. So, when you think about the whole whether or not mountains may have been ancient trees, I'm not going to say that I believe it 100%, but I'm not going to say that I don't believe it either, just because, like, look, like, whenever you describe, like, the bottom of, like you say mountains have roots, right? Trees have roots. Why would you compare a mountain to a tree? And have these similarities, and then you look at some of the photos where they look, the photos with the flat surfaces of those mountains, and they've got fucking rings around them, kind of like trees have, right? And I know that there could be an explanation or some shit like that, but they still have rings. The same with trees. So one could say that it borders on the maybe pile when you think about it, just because it's more or less along the lines of, is this actually true or not? And the problem is we can't necessarily verify it, or we have verified it and we're not telling people about it. Because if you look at some of these photos of these giant skeletons and these like big ass footprints that are like the size of an average human being, and you wonder, like, is this faked or like we you don't know. Now there are some photos going out there that were faked, like that mermaid that they said they saw. That one was actually a costume. And there's still mysteries, like mysterious things washing up on shore that no one can identify. But then they want to say, like, oh, it was like a skinned whale or some shit, or like a dead, I don't know, friggin' squid. How do you know? If you could not identify what it was, how can you say with absolute certainty that that was exactly what you say it is? That's just like a lot of scientific facts aren't actually facts. They're theories that we've just chosen to accept as fact. Because there are things in this world that we've seen videos of, we've seen like sketches, pictures that defy everything we know about the world. And it just, from my understanding, it seems like no one wants to talk about it, or they're trying to keep people's mouths shut about it by making you seem like you're crazy. Because if we start to realize that everything that we know and love is false, honestly, it would tear the fabric of our society. Because a few people, especially those who have been, studying this shit and like they know it to be true, and then when they finally get the proof, they're like, yes, I was right. That's one thing. But for those who have been believing, that all this shit is fiction, that there's no aliens, we're alone in the universe, there's this, that, and the third. And then you find out dragons exist, giants exist, fairies exist, mermaids exist. And that the dinosaurs were actually dragons. And that they just created these different species of dinosaur in order to make us think that that was exactly what happened, when they actually could have just been dragons. Now, I'm not talking about the dragons that, breathe fire and fucking go and like pillage gold and all that shit. I mean, just dragons. And I mean, part of me wants to believe it, just like part of me wants to believe the whole that the earth is actually hollow inside. Because can you imagine if Middle Earth actually existed and that's where all the mythological creatures went? And then one would have to ask the question, why? Like, why did they leave? And I think I know the answer, and I'm pretty sure you all know the answer. It's because of us. Not us specifically, but the humans that were alive at that time. So all we did was go around trying to conquer shit. instead of trying to live in peace and harmony with everything. So they got fed up and they fucking left. But I mean, I don't have proof. Honestly, if I could win the lottery, I would literally spend my life trying to prove some of these conspiracy theories, like the whole Mount Shasta thing. I'd literally hire a team. We'd go into Mount Shasta if it was possible, and we'd explore it and see if we can find the entrance in the Middle Earth. Because people keep saying it, and I'm so curious about it. I want to do it. Like, I mean, tell me what you guys think. Like, do you think that the mountains are ancient trees? I mean, if you look at them, like, not all. I mean, maybe all. Who knows? But if you look at them, some of them actually do kind of resemble trees. Hence why I get why this conspiracy theory was formed. Because who doesn't want to believe that there were gigantic trees the size of skyscrapers that were just all over the place? Because it makes one want to think, like, what did the world look like back then? Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please follow us on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. Like, we're available on all social media platforms. We got audio and video. Check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends. If you guys got any conspiracy theories you want to like discuss, I love having these kind of discussions. So please let me know what you guys want us to explore, and we'll cover it on the next episode. Anyway, my name is Marcus Bulls. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.